Well, now it is your boy Lambo Drew, and you are now tapped into another edition of the Leverage Show. Y'all do not want to miss this one tonight. I told y'all I had some heat, man, to be closing out this year, and none other, man, than to bring back, man, one of my good trusted friends, Tim Roberts, man, back in the building, man, tonight. You guys do not want to miss this. Make sure you guys or sharing this video. Get this video out to each and every person you know, because this video tonight and this sit down could really help change someone's life who's probably been praying for directions, for answers, and been really praying of how are we going to get to this next level with my business, with my personal life, with me really being able to say, you know what, Lambo, I'm here to help make a change, but I don't know how. I don't know the blueprint. I don't know where to start. I don't know these things. But tonight, you guys will have that opportunity to hear from one of my good friends who we've done a lot of great business in helping entrepreneurs, whether new, startup, or seasoned, help scale their business, but scale with the plan, right? And that's what most people are actually missing out these days. They're missing that part that is allowing them to scale and scale with the plan from a right mentor, a right coach, or a right expert. And tonight, you guys have that package all in one with my guy, Tim Roberts. So y'all do not want to miss that, man. And especially, man, some amazing, great things that he's going to be dropping. We're going to hear and everything, man, exactly what's been going on in Tim's life, but what's been going on in the banking industry that's been allowing so many people to take advantage of funding or get on the denials of funding. And there has been a ton of denials that have been out there. And a lot of people have been really struggling to really get those approvals you once got just last year. Heck, just over the summer for some people. So you guys really want to be able to go ahead and take a tentative, take initiative, and listen tonight, because this will be a call of action, man, for some of y'all who really need to make sure that you are going to that next level and having that next level, man, you know, right here at your fingertips, my guy, Tim Roberts. Before Tim gets on the show, we're going to go ahead, man, and check the chats real quick. Y'all already know. See where we at, man. What's going on, Miss Ingram? I seen Ken up there too, man. This YouTube and his algorithm is something else. Shout out to you, though, Miss Ingram. I see you with this top spot on here. Hello, family, man. Good to see you, Miss Ingram. You better be going on ahead, man, and reaching back out to my guy, Tim Roberts. I already know that for sure. You already know, man. She got a chance, man. Her and the wonderful sister, Miss Angela, man, got a chance to reach out to my guy, Tim, man, just recently and hear all the wealth and wisdom that Tim is definitely bringing to the show. So you guys do not want to miss that, all right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's showing love to Ken, man. Miss Ingram showing love to my wonderful wife. Let's go. Errol is in the building. Shout out to my cuz in the building, in the booth, doing what he does best. What's up, Leverage 4 family? Let's get it, man. We about to get it out here. Let's make this thing happen. Issa is in the building. Hello, Issa. Hello, Leverage 4 fam. Issa has been on a roll, man. You guys know Isidro. Isidro's going to make some stuff happen, man, and move out there all the way in Utah. He's right next to California out there with his buddy Tim. He knows Tim, and definitely he loves Tim, man. And every time I get a chance to talk, man, some of y'all have actually got a chance to work with some amazing people, man, that Lambo knows. So shout out to Isidro, man, being here. He's showing love to Mrs. Taylor as well, showing love to Miss Ingram. Kid Haney showing love to Miss Ingram. Shout out to you, Ken, for the freaking win, man. What's up, my boy? Hey, listen, Ken Haney, if you guys don't know Ken Haney, he is truly a work of art, man. Really being able to connect people with the right people, man. So shout out to you, Ken. If you guys missed Tuesday night show with me, Ken Haney, and my guy, Scotty G, man, on here, please go back and catch that show. The wealth advisor himself pulled up, man, for a one-on-one sit-down with me and my guy, Ken Haney, while we were in Columbus, Ohio over the break. So shout out to Ken Haney, man, for that. And Scotty G, who did a phenomenal job. Y'all got a chance to hear that wealth advisor and hear how all these years and experience, and now how he has millions and multi-millions under management for clients, and is really helping people grow their wealth and grow their wealth the right way. He had so many degrees behind him and what you call them things, I call them the alphabets. When you get all them alphabets, Series 7, Series 1, 2, 5, Series 19, 28, when you get all those series behind your name, you know and everything, man, it's getting ready to go ahead and go down, and you got the right one, baby, like Ray Charles would say. So shout out and everything, man, to that wonderful interview. Make sure you guys go check it out. Easter showing love to Errol. Let's go. Easter showing stay love to brother Ken. So proud of you, man. We were so proud of Ken. You guys missed that show. You guys don't know what it is, man. We're gonna make sure y'all check it back out. My guy Errol, good to see you, brother, man. What's up, Leverage Show family? Shout out to my guy, Mr. Miami, being in the building. We getting ready to see, man, him real soon. So really am excited for Mr. Miami, man, and him doing what he does best out here. What's up, James? See you at Miami. Yes, see, everybody's getting ready for March 6, 7, and 8. Make sure you are putting that aside on your calendars. March 6, 7, and 8. Tim Roberts, he's going to be down there. So you guys make sure that you guys are getting your tickets down and putting the time aside for an unforgettable event in Miami. All roads lead to Miami, March 6, 7, 8 for Lambo's event. We got another amazing mastermind, man, that's going to be down there. Telling you what, it's going to sell out, man, just as fast as the one in November sold out. And now having my guy Tim Roberts, man, being down there in Miami, oh, you guys are not going to go ahead and want to miss this. That guy right there, when Tim Roberts speaks, he prints money. That's what I'm talking about. He is money when he speaks, man. He shows y'all how to do things and get it done the right way. Welcome back, Tim. Looking forward to the dropping the nuggets you're about to drop tonight. There we go, Ken. Ken Haney always showing love. You know what time it is, being in the building. Everybody getting ready. Unlimited freedom. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe to my guy channel. We will be in Miami January 31st before the March 6, 7, and 8 event with Unlimited Freedom, Anthony Deloach, and all you other amazing leaders, Coach Rashid, so many other leaders. I can't wait to see y'all for the E-Estate event. For those who are looking to make money passively with real estate that's tokenized in crypto, and that's phenomenal. You guys do not want to go ahead and not miss that. That thing has been taken off like a storm. People are earning passive income each and every single month in the real estate space without having to swing a hammer, without having to fix toilets, and without having to deal with tenants. What in the world are we coming to, y'all? Shout out and everything to E-Estate, man, and everybody, man, that's a part of that. If you want to hear more about that, man, I will gladly go on ahead and send you that link for E-Estate where you guys can get to start the earning some stuff today. Just hit me at 612-547-8826. Hit that E-Estate link, and I will go on ahead and send that over. The numbers are on the bottom of the screen, 612-547-8826. And I will send you that E-Estate link, and you guys can go on ahead, man, and get the rocking and rolling out here. All right. Thank you, Unlimited Freedom. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe to his channel. That is my guy. Shout out to you, James, man. Shout out to Ken Haney, man. Showing love to James. Let's go. Hey, Tim, thank you for you do what you do, man. Y'all better be thanking Tim because he do what he do. Big Tim Roberts in the building. Roberts in the building. Y'all know what time it is, man. Shout out to Syndrome, man, for that. Danny Piper is in the building. Shout out to my guy, Danny Piper, man. Pipe up with the Danny Piper. Boy, y'all bringing out the best out here. Danny will be down in Miami, too. Oh my God, you guys don't want to know. You guys don't want to miss that. Phenomenal speaker as well. I'm trying to get Danny. If I can get Danny and Damian Burris, like those two back to back, I would love those two back to back. Shout out if you guys remember Damian Burris at the last one. I want to get Danny Piper and Damian Burris back to back at the March 6, 7, and 8 event, the Mastermind. It's going to be amazing. I think those two would. Yeah, that I can listen to them all day. So shout out and everything, man, to Danny Piper, man. Being out here, man, doing what he do. You guys are going to definitely get a chance to see him and the master himself, man, in the building. March 6, 7, and 8 in Miami. Shout out to IC, man. Good to see you. Danny Piper says, Ken for the win. Let's go. IC showing love to Mrs. Johnson. My wonderful wife is in the building. Hello, everyone. You know she was coming on here to support her brother, Tim Roberts, man, and doing what he does best. So let's go ahead and run it up. Ken Haney showing love. Danny Piper's in the building. Welcome, Big D. Great to see you again. My guy, Damian Burris, is in the building. The closer is in the building, man. Shout out to you, Dane, man. It's so good to see you, brother. You already know, man, I cannot wait to see you down there in Miami, March 6, 7, and 8, because I know we're going to have an amazing time. Appreciate that call, man, earlier, Dame. You already know, man, we got work to do out here, man. All right? Shout out and welcome Vaughn. Y'all better shout out and welcome Vaughn, man, in the building, man. Look, let's go. It's Ken. I'm here. Let's go. Tammy is in the building. Shout out to Miss Tammy Cunningham being in the building. Showing a good evening, man, for you, man. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. If you guys got the chance to be around there, and if you are looking for your vacation, we were able to bless everybody at the last event with vacations to Rome, Italy, Greece, Cancun, Hawaii, Cabo. Y'all was all able to bless. That was because of my wonderful wife and her wonderful friend, Tammy Cunningham. Make sure you guys get your appointment set up so y'all can take advantage. We gave y'all free trips, nothing attached, no seminars or no nothing like that. And we gave y'all free trips, man. Just got to go on ahead, man, and schedule your time to get there and go meet with my girl, Tammy Cunningham, man. Schedule your appointment today and go cash in on your free trip, especially in 2026, because some of y'all, not some of y'all, all of y'all deserve to get out here and travel and see the world, because that's what God has created for. Thank you, Tam, for joining in out here tonight. I watched it. It was good. See, Tam said it was good. If you missed Tuesday night's episode, you don't know what you was missing out on. So make sure you go back and watch the sit down with me, my guy Ken Haney, and my guy Scotty G, who came on here and wrecked that show. All right, family, don't forget to push the like button. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, man, because we are right here to make sure that we keep this thing going to the next level, man, and keep you guys at bay, man. Tonight, we're doing a giveaway, too. You guys do not want to miss it. Tim Roberts don't even know. I ain't even talked to him about it. But we're doing a special giveaway tonight. So make sure y'all are listening to Tim tonight, because a lot of the giveaway prizes, we're giving away cash, y'all. We're giving away cash tonight. So some people and everything, man, is going to be like, man, hold on, Lambo. You're doing this. I told y'all we do this every year. The giveaway is tonight, and we doing it with my guy, Tim Roberts, in the building, man. So I really want to make sure you guys are tapped in and tuned in and stay to the very end, man, so we can make sure that you guys are giving out prizes. Actually, we're going to do something different. In between, we're going to give out prizes in between. So when Tim's up there speaking, I'm going to just say, yo, Tim, drop you a question, and we're going to go and give out some money for y'all. I got y'all, man. This is how we're going to do this. So make sure y'all bringing y'all Zelles, your Cash App, and your Venmos out, because Lambo is definitely sending it tonight, because it is that time that we always sow and we always give back, and we do it right here on the Leverage Show, man, because God, man, is good, and we always glorify him for everything that we do. All right, love you, Lambo, now in eternity. Thank you, bro. Ken, you know what time it is, brother. That's what we do best. Same love to my guy, Danny Piper, who started my golf addiction. Man, you started something, Danny, with Ken. Ken is more than just golf addicted. He's got like golf in his bloodline every time he wakes up. So make sure you guys and everything, man, are definitely tapped in. And Ken got me out here golfing. I love golfing now. I got to see if Tim Roberts golf. I don't know if Tim golf. We're gonna get up out here. When Tim gets on the show, we're going to ask Tim Roberts, does he golf tonight? All right. Hello and welcome, Tammy, man. You already know Dana Jones is in the building. Shout out to you, Dana and DJ, man. Really love and appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all are tapped in tonight, man. This is the Michigan family in the building doing what they do. Really appreciate y'all, man. His pool fit is different, Mr. A.K.A. Damian Burris. Yeah, y'all better recognize Dame in the building. Hello and welcome, Miss Dana Jones. Y'all welcome my Michigan family. P.C. Smith is in the building, man. Shout out to P and T in the building. Really appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all for y'all popping on here. Hey, Lambo family, man. Hey, P and T. We already know what time it is. James Williams, man, talking to IC, man. P talking to Hey, my row. Tuesday was good, man. That show was amazing. I'm trying to tell y'all, make sure you guys get out there and get it. Tonight's going to be even fire because we got Tim Roberts. You guys want to ask some questions tonight, and stay tuned because it's getting ready to go out. I tell y'all, we giving y'all back-to-back, man, body. You got heavyweights in the ring. You had Scotty G and Ken Haney on Tuesday night. Then you got Lambo and Tim Roberts tonight. Oh, my goodness. Somebody's getting knocked out, man, out here, man. Y'all make sure y'all are tapped in. IC and everything, Ken, Danny, Unlimited Freedom, man. Cuz giving it everything. And of course, Mrs. Johnson, First Lady, how y'all doing? We are doing well, cuz. Thank you for that, man. Happy Thursday, Leverage Show family. Shout out to you, Julie Crafton. Julie definitely knows. Julie and Jeremiah know my guy Tim as well, man. The Craftons appreciate what you guys are doing, and y'all are tapped in tonight. Y'all are bringing the energy tonight. That's what Tim needs. We need to keep it louder for Tim Roberts and everything. Keep the flame firing. You know, already know. PC Smith is in the building. See you tomorrow night with Ron Ty and the late night Friday night. Yes, they do. Shout out to that whole entire crew, man. My guy Ron Day, man. Really appreciate him. And the last time we got a chance to really be talking, me and Ron was golfing in Columbus, Ohio with Ken as well. So that was an amazing time being out there on the golf range in some nice, cool weather that night. You know what I'm saying? PC showing love to everybody. Dana showing love. I'm well. Thanks for asking. Let's go, man. PC showing love to Julie. Let's go, man. PC showing love to Ken. Yes, tomorrow. Julie showing love to everybody. Elro, IC, great to see you. Miss Ingram, great to see you. Let's go right here. You already know, man. Post Site Pro is in the building. That's my guy, DJ. I know that all day long. Shout out to you, DJ, man. Thank you for popping in, man, and doing what you're doing. You and Dana showing love, man. Really appreciate y'all because we going up even higher. How fast are you seeing these YouTube's responses, man? We're pretty seeing them pretty cool. I mean, that's once I finally get over here, I can get a chance to see it. And we able to kind of, work and manage through it and stuff like that. PC, hello, my lady. You already know, man. Shout out to my sister, J50. Miss Ingram, Tammy, Unlimited. Let's go, man. I mean, y'all have the whole roll call. Calling out everybody. Hello, Ken. Great to see you. Great to see you here. You know what time it is. Shout out to Pro Side Pro. Y'all give love to Dana and DJ, man, for tapping in on the Leverage Show. Y'all already know what time it is. Showing love to Big Tim. Julie, you know it was going to show love to Big Tim. Right there, here, being in the building. Let's go. Let's make this thing happen. Listen, I really thank y'all for all of y'all energy. I felt that. I know Tim Roberts is back there feeling that tonight. Like he feel the chat is ready for him tonight. Without further ado, I want to introduce him back to this show. He is not a stranger. He is truly a friend to the Leverage Show. If you have not seen Tim Roberts anywhere in my YouTube feed, when you go through all of those live videos and you see all of these other podcasts for years, Tim has been a consistent guest on this show each and every single year, sometimes twice a year. I think we had him at the very beginning of the year this time, and he's closing out this year being on the Leverage Show. I'm so respected from his talents, his crafts, what energy he brings, his insight he brings, and how many countless of people he's helped out right here for our community, as well as so many countless of other communities around the entire world. I want y'all to give a big, strong welcome to the business funding firm guy himself, who knows business credit back and forth, knows just about everything to do with a credit report and where to go get the money at. And for those who are interested in going get some money in 2026, make sure you are definitely raising your hands and making sure that we keep this lit, because Tim Roberts is not only going to show you how to structure it properly, but how to really go get a business, not with just a figment of your imagination, but real life results that work. We welcome back to the Leverage Show right here, right now, our good friend, Mr. Tim Roberts.
What's up, Lambo? Thank you for that awesome introduction. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for all the warm greetings. There's no place I'd rather be to end my year than right here with you. And you're gonna bring me on here to give people money and everything too.
Man,
so
and you're giving out a bag. They get a chance to win some money out here.
You know what I'm saying? What an amazing night. So I'll do everything I can to help you contribute to people getting the bag right here tonight on your show.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Make it easier for me, man, out here, King. Because Tim, I'm gonna just be real with you. People and everything, they say Lambo giving away money. I'm like, man, we giving away money on the Leverage Show. You need to be tapped in, because this could actually go on ahead, man, and go a long way for somebody who's actually been praying and hoping some great things happen. Quick, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yesterday, this is true story. My daughter, shout out to everybody who prayed and you guys are sending out well wishes, right? My daughter yesterday went through surgery, right? My daughter Bucky, she was there down at the events. She wound up going to surgery. Everything went well with that. So thank you guys for all of your prayers, all of your concerns, all of your love, all of your energy was felt. We really believe God for that. And to see her where she's at today is truly an amazing, that as parents, that sits on our heads, Tim, and it sits on our heads, it sits on our spirits, but also in everything, man. I remember being there. I'm having some similar wins that were going to be life-changing for people's lives, dead smack in the middle of that hospital while we're actually going ahead and having the surgery, right? And I'm excited on one end, and I'm in prayer looking at my daughter on the other end. And in my head, I said, my God, I remember the time when it was only one side of this. We were in a hospital living in fear, right, Tim, because of not knowing what to expect or what was to make, but to see that there was still blessings of our work that we were able to contribute, that we were able to help out a family who literally had no money going into it for the holidays. And literally because we were able to flip their credit and go up 300 points within 24 hours, Tim, they went from having no Christmas, right? From having no money to even get money back and forth for groceries or anything else to literally almost $200,000 in funding within 24 hours. Right there. The power of credit in leveraging, the tears that came from that, the joy that came from that, in the middle of us being right there for our baby and being concerned about that. And all of a sudden, all that we had put in was still working out. They had many other testimonies outside of that. But to see that single mother with her babies, being able to know that they're going to be blessed us like never before, because what's getting ready to happen for their life, and then connected them with business owners that's going to allow them to go ahead and win further in their chapter, allows us to go ahead, man, and say, man, the Leverage Show is really changing lives, and we really are helping people out here. So Tim, man, I know you got plenty of stories like that, man, but I really wanted to tell you that and just wanted to bring that to attention. I know there was a lot of people was asking like, hey, Lambo, how did the surgery go? Everything went well. But even in the middle of that, there were miracles and blessings being made, because that's what this thing is about, when your life is full of giving and helping people, especially in this season. So thank you, Tim, man. I really appreciate you coming back here, because you have been so instrumental in that. And helping so many other clients that I've sent your way over the years, and literally giving them a plan, giving them a structure, and allowing to see, man, what funding can do to actually help change their lives. So I really, in everything, man, want to thank you and give you your flowers tonight, Tim Roberts, because you truly are amazing. Not just an amazing man, but an amazing friend. But you are also a person, man, who is out here to really help people and change people's lives, because the gifts that God has given you to help change people's lives. So we thank you, Tim Roberts, tonight.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. And it's funny how God works, how you can go into a situation and, you're full of fear, and then God turns it into a situation where you can give back and somebody else can be blessed because of it. So let's keep that rolling, and let's do that tonight too, right? Give people a little bit of guidance and instruction and see how we can get people into a better situation. And I apologize. I've been so slammed for the last couple of weeks. I haven't had a whole lot of time to prepare for tonight. But it's just because that's what we're out here doing is helping people. So, but I do have a good outline and a structure on how I want to bring to the table to be able to give people back. And that's basically like all the things that I've seen over the last year, especially over the last month or two, on what's changing in the banking industry. And then trying to get people an outline on how we can position ourselves to be in a good position to be able to take advantage of the things like the American credit system, and really be able to go out there and get access to some money so we can change our life and the lives of those around us.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is start off just by talking about one of the things I've noticed with a lot of the banks over here over the last month. We'll start off at Chase. So last year at Chase, they kind of, it seems like about every year with the introduction of like YouTube and TikTok and all these digital platforms, a lot of people are out here giving away information.
Yeah.
And banks
Yep.
like Navy Federal, they see it because
Yep.
you see like approvals start coming down. So instead of getting $25,000, we see things like a $500 approval, and then you have to season the account for 6 months before they'll go ahead and extend it to a higher credit limit. The bigger the bank is, the more people that are talking about their bank, it seems like the tighter they get, because the bank at the end of the day, they want to give people money, because especially at 0%, because they know that people are going to carry a balance on it. They're eventually going to build that relationship and be able to get access to some of that interest that comes on the back end of the 0%. But with that, there's a lot of risk that's involved too. So banks just want to make sure that they're not extending risk. They're just extending, something they have the ability to profit on in the future. So specifically with, just a second here. Specifically with Chase, just over the last month or so, they've really changed their requirements on providing things like business relationship managers. And if you guys don't already know, usually the easiest way to get access to a large limit product is going through a business relationship manager, because they get to work with the underwriters and get you higher value approvals, because they can advocate for you. But just this month alone, and this is within reason, is normally what they want to do is they want to prevent risk and they want to prevent fraud by assigning you a representative that's within your area. And then they're getting a little bit tighter on the amount of products that they're willing to lend. And then they have more requirements coming in to where they can even extend you a business relationship manager. They want to see that you either have $100,000 in their bank account, or that your business is making $1.1 million per year to even be assigned one. And then because I think last year one of the big things is there were a couple business relationship managers, and they were running all of their clients through the same underwriter. So people were getting multiple approvals for a high value. So again, Chase trying to mitigate risk, they're like, well, we'll isolate managers to people in specific areas. But there are still some relationship managers, and we have access to some of these guys that'll work in multiple areas around the country. So you don't specifically have to go to someone in your area. And then again, a lot of the information that they check, the $100,000 in the account, they want to see that if that's the requirement, or you can let them know that your revenue is 1.1 million, and that'll kind of pass that check. This is normally how we like to format people, right? We get a good strategy, start from the beginning, and then we work our way through each step of the process, so that way we can ensure we get good results. But we created a method this year. We like to call it the RAD method. And what the RAD method is you want to remove all of the negative items from a credit report, right? The A stands for add. We want to add some positive history. And then D stands for develop. So most of the time, banks are normally willing to give somewhere between like 1 and 2.5 times of your average high comparable credit. Now, in order for banks to determine what this is, they'll usually look at, like, say if you're going in and you're trying to get approved for business credit cards, are usually the easiest to get approved for as a brand new business, because the requirements are a little bit less. But normally the banks will take your top 3 personal credit card limits. They'll add up those limits and then divide by 3 to get your average. Right. Once they come up with that average, they're willing to give normally between 1 to 2.5 times that amount, providing you're not high risk. One of the ways that they determine whether you're high risk or not is based off of the other items that fall on the credit report. This would include your credit card utilization. Usually banks want to see that you're under 20% on each individual account. They want to make sure that you haven't applied for too much new credit, right? So we want to make sure the inquiries are low. And then they also want to make sure that you have good payment history. So again, make sure that all of the payment history that we have looks good, right? No collections, no charge-offs. And if so, we want to address those things before we apply. Once you have that average high comparable, whatever that number is, usually you can count on the banks to give you about 1 to 2 times that amount. Now, if that number isn't above 10,000, then that's where we want to focus. That's where we want to put our focus. Because usually banks want to see that you have at least 10,000 in comparable credit before they're willing to approve you for their business credit products. So I'd say there's a couple ways that you can do this, right? If we have low, personal credit card limits, there's a couple ways that we can go about getting higher limits. The easiest way, and one of my favorite methods, is we take a bank like Chase, right? One of the most recognized banks in the world, and they work with a lot of other companies like Amazon and Disney, and then United Airlines, and they have these additional products that are underwritten through Chase, right? Now, if you have a Chase credit card product, you can always go apply for a secondary product through one of these affiliates, right, or one of these products that they underwrite. And then once you get approved, you can combine those limits into a single product. This is probably the fastest way to grow your comparable limits. The next fastest way is to have a little bit of history with the bank, right? And you can do this by adding an authorized user to the account. But you want to make sure if you're being added as an authorized user, you get the history for that product, whether it's good or it's bad. So if you're going to have, a family member or a loved one add you to their account, you want to make sure that there's a couple things in place. A, they have good payment history. B, they have low balances. C, they have a little bit of time with that account, more than a year or two old. And then D, we want to make sure that they have high limits, so that way it actually positively impacts the profile. So that would be one of the easier ways to get access to a higher limit on your report. And then once you have that listed on the report, then you want to go to a competing bank. So if the authorized user is going to be, Chase, say we get added to a Chase product, then maybe we want to go to US Bank or Wells Fargo. Usually they're a lot more generous, and they're more willing to want to compete with that business, providing, again, you look good on paper when you're applying, right? And then the best way that you can do this is if somebody adds you to their account, is if you make an expense on that account, right? Go use the card that they give you, spend $100 on it, make sure you pay it off so it gets paid back on time. Then that history hits your credit report too, that not only did somebody trust you enough to add you to their account, you actually were able to use the account and you made your payments on time. So that's the quickest way to add the history to the report. Once we do that, then we want to start to develop that history. Right. Again, when you go to the banks want to give you money. They just want to make sure that they're not taking on a risk. So normally banks are willing to give you somewhere between like 1 and 2.5 times your comparable limits. So the higher limits you have, the more likely you're going to be able to get higher limits in the future whenever you go to competing banks. Usually what we do is we'll remove all the bad stuff. So we'll remove the inquiries if there's any collections or charge-offs. We'll advise people on that, what's the best way to get those items removed too. Then we'll add the history, whether it's an authorized user or we combine limits to get a good, strong limit. That usually seasons the file. Once we have at least one high limit, then we'll try and get a couple comparable limits. So if we start with one, ideally we want to have about 3 accounts that are above 10,000 before we start focusing on building the business credit or applying for business credit, just so we look good on paper. So that would kind of give you a good format on how you want to structure going and applying and being eligible for accounts. And once you go apply for a couple more accounts, you have 3, then you'd be good to come up with a plan and then go visit the banks that you want to address to get access to your 0% business credit. There are a couple other things that I've seen as far as people having issues being eligible. It is getting towards the end of the year. Christmas is right around the corner. A lot of people are spending a lot of money, and the economy has been challenging to say the least. So what I've seen personally with a lot of profiles is a lot of people are starting to get over leveraged. And I'm sure all you guys know this. If you've ever experienced any type of high leverage on accounts, it's hard to go to banks and get additional approvals if you're over leveraged. So I'd like to address that just a little bit and then give people a little bit of guidance on what they can do. So if you have, a credit profile, you look at it, you're over leveraged on your accounts. As long as you're under 50% of your complete debt, then you have the ability to restructure that debt and look good on paper. So that way you can go back to the banks and you can get approvals, right? Now, there's a couple ways that you can get to that 50% utilization. If you have a business, great. A lot of the times there's some products that you can go take advantage of. Accounts like Lendio, which is a broker, which will allow you access to revenue-based products, but they're not as expensive as like merchant cash advances. And then what their requirements are is they want to see that you have at least 10 grand a month in income in the business name, right? Of course, they want to see that you have a business. Normally, they want to see that the business has been established for ideally 12 months. And then they want to see about 3 months worth of bank statements that are showing over $10,000 a month in revenue, which isn't too extremely complicated to develop. But once you have that, and providing you have at least a 600, so even if you're over leveraged, they'll still extend you money. Normally, they're willing to give about dollar for dollar what you're producing monthly. So if you're making 10 grand a month, you could expect them to extend you about $10,000. If you're doing 20 grand a month, you can expect them to give you access to about $20,000. Well, that would be one method. You can go through lenders like Lendio, which is a broker. So they'll put your information out there. They'll look at your bank statements, and then they'll give you an offer through competing lenders, right? They have a list of a bunch of lenders, and then they'll compete for your business. So whoever has the best terms, they'll orchestrate that, and then you can, agree to whichever one that you like best based off your financial situation. Or you can go to companies like OnDeck. Again, they have really good terms. They have a minimum requirement, 10K a month, and a 600 credit score, which a lot of people, have the ability to do. And this could get you in a better position. But my favorite method, as long as you're under 50% utilization, is restructuring the debt, right? So a lot of people, I don't know if everybody's really familiar with this, but there's a couple different ways that that debt reports. You have, whenever you have a credit card, right? If you look at your due date on that bill, normally your account's going to report 3 days after that due. That's the report date. So if you have, say, a credit card and it's due on the 15th, right? And let's just say you have $10,000 available, you haven't spent any money on it. On the 18th, which is 3 days after that due date, they're going to report the balance. So being as now it's a zero balance, it's going to show 0 out of $10,000. Well, on the 19th, if you were to take advantage and use that money or make a spend on that card, it's not going to show up for another 30 days. So one of the ways that you could restructure yourself and get into a little bit better position is by leveraging like a debt restructure plan, right? There's a lot of ways, especially with all the online merchant processors that exist, or payment processors like Venmo or PayPal. And what you can do is, whenever you go to make a payment to someone, you can put in, they'll ask you who you want to pay first. So, make sure it's someone that you trust or a loved one. You can send them money. It'll ask who you want to pay. So you select who you want to pay. And then the next step is going to ask you which account you want to pay them with. Well, if you select that credit card that you have, you just, type in the card number, and then you could submit that payment to them. Well, once you have that cash, right, it's going to send to them. It usually takes about 2 to 3 days. And then once you receive that cash back, you can use that to pay down other accounts, right? But if you pull money from an account after it's reported, it'll buy you about a 30-day window before it shows up. And then if you use that money to pay another account before it reports, if you strategize all of the accounts that you have, right? Normally what we'll do is we'll build out a spreadsheet, and we'll put all of the report dates, the accounts, the balances, and then you can create a plan to pay off accounts after they report, or to liquidate accounts after they report, and then pay other accounts before they report. If you do this with all of your accounts, as long as you're under 50% utilization, normally what this will do is it'll buy you a window of anywhere from 3 to 30 days to where everything's going to report paid down, and it's going to allow you an opportunity to be able to apply for new credit. Again, this is providing that your credit profile looks good, right? It's going to bring the score up as your utilization drops, right? But you want to make sure that you haven't applied for too much new credit, you have good payment history, and then you have, low inquiries, and you have a nice credit mix. But what this will do is it'll allow you an opportunity to where you can apply for new accounts. So if you mix this strategy with the RAD strategy, right? Make sure all the bad stuff is gone. You add the good history. You develop that history. You have high comparable credits. Now what happens is, when you go back to the bank and you apply for accounts, your highest accounts, somewhere between 10 and 20,000, you can focus on accounts that have 0% access. And this will allow you to get approved for accounts that normally have, good repayment terms. Maybe you get 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. Now you can use this to pay off the balances that you just leveraged, especially if you go after business credit products, right? Those accounts aren't even going to show up on the personal credit report. And it might buy you a window of opportunity to where you can build your credit, make it look super strong, bring your utilization down, and then put you in position to apply for additional products. right? Even loan products. There's a lot of products that are available. You can go get access to a vehicle through like Lightstream, and they won't verify the collateral of the vehicle, so you don't have to show them a title. And this will get you access to money that you don't necessarily have to, pay towards anything specific. So you could invest it back in your business. So there's like a lot of opportunities out there. And then if you really want to take advantage of some of the options that are available, you have there's banks that offer unsecured business lines of credit, right? So normally what we'll do is we'll develop a plan, right? We'll make sure we get the personal credit in order. We'll come up with a strategy for how we're going to apply for the business credit, and then we'll apply for accounts based off of which credit bureaus they pull from. So we might do a credit card stack with all of the big banks, and then we'll throw all of the banks in the area that offer 0% credit or 0% interest terms within an area, because these banks change from city to city, state to state. And then you can also add different products in there as well. So you don't necessarily just have to go after, business credit cards. You can go after business lines of credit as well. Now, the tricky thing is a lot of business lines of credit, with banks like Chase, require 2 years in business. They want to see taxes. They're only willing to give about 10% of your annual revenue. And then they file what's called a UCC filing against your business, right? And what this means is, like, if you default on that product, then that bank gets first dibs on your assets, which would be your accounts receivable, or they would get first dibs on your assets if you default. So there are some lenders that will allow you an unsecured product without necessarily verifying 10% of your annual revenue. And these are going to be banks like US Bank has a product, Truist has a product, Wells has a product, Wells Fargo. But they don't file for UCC filings as long as you're applying for unsecured business lines of credit. And usually they're a little bit more generous if you open the account and then you fund the account first. So if you have, $10K in an account as opposed to $0 in the account. And a lot of the times what we'll do is whenever we're building out a plan for somebody, we'll apply for our first initial product. Once we've got our company developed and looking good on paper, the first product we apply for, maybe we apply for, a US Bank business credit card. Once we get that credit card that comes with 0% interest, US Bank traditionally doesn't apply through the business credit bureau. So you can leverage that account without having to see it show up on the Dun & Bradstreet or the Experian report. So banks won't see that you've borrowed from that account. So you can take that money and you can use that money to further develop a relationship with other banks, right? Like Wells Fargo or Truist. And then what this does is it allows you an opportunity to where not only do you look good on paper, but you've also got some funds in the account. So that way your relationship is a little bit established and they see you have good credit and money. So then the banks are more willing to give you access to products just because, again, you don't appear high risk. And that's the name of the game, right? Whenever you're trying to go after and you're trying to get access to credit, the banks want to give it to you. They just don't want to take on new risks. So anything that you do to show that you're low risk is going to just further their decision that they want to take you on as a customer and they're willing to extend those products. So that's just I know that was maybe a little bit all over the place, but hopefully that was a little bit of information that can be kind of helpful. Lambo Drew, you still here, buddy?
Man, I'm here, brother. You just a machine. Tim, I sit back up in there and say, the master is in the building out here. Taking us all to school, because I think that when you broke the whole system down, right? Let's just talk about that. Rad, and shout out and everything, man, for Blue Sky putting this up here. Who's like our penmanship. Yeah, Blue Sky, she's the penmanship, and you've been knowing Blue Sky for quite some time, man, Tim, as well. But this method of remove and develop, I want to kind of pinpoint and hone in on that, right? And shout out to you for this method. Most people, when they're saying or they're thinking credit, right, on a credit standpoint, Tim, the first thing they have to do is, oh, man, I have credit. And I tell them, I said, well, how much positive credit do you have, right? Because it's always huge, because some people may have credit, but it may not be positive. You may have struggled in a little bit because financial, things or trauma happens to us all, right? I've been through it. I've been through my fair share where things started off great, and I'm telling you, I got shipwrecked in a heartbeat, and it burned all the way down to the ground, right? And missed payments happen, right? And now you may have missed payments, or you may have, it may be over leveraged, or it may be charged off, or collections account that hit out the blue. I'm going to give y'all something, right? Lambo's just being straight up real with y'all. I had a collection company, true story, come at me just recently of a charge that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And I'm looking like, man, I've never even seen this. I'm thinking that this thing, long gone, this thing all the way written off, the whole nine, and it literally tried to come in the text. They will try to hit your report when it's good reports marketing. There is people, and you know, Tim knows this, they scout your report, especially when you have great credit, to see if that they can attach something negative to there, and their collection is sold from everyone else, right? From another debt company, right? That took it on. So the removing process is key and pivotal of getting these items removed. Please check your credit every single month if you can. If you can't check it once a week or once every other week, once a month. Had I never caught that or got a notification, right? Doesn't matter, your credit score is in the 800s. When that hits, it just drags you down. Hey, what the heck is this? Good thing about it is I'm Lambo and I got a team. We taking that sucker right on off. Like, hey man, you already know this is not even getting ready to happen. But imagine the people who don't look at their reports, Tim, or don't take initiative, or when they get to you, you're seeing all of the things that they say, oh yeah, I'm still paying on that, but I missed a couple payments, but I'm still paying on that. And it's taking them out of the funding space. Talk about it, everything, man, how late payments can take someone in and out, or even those charge-offs or collections by being on the report. Talk about how that can be so effective, especially to clients these days.
Oh, for sure. Well, you got to think, like, with late payments, they're the most damaging for the last 6 month period, right? They lose a little bit of damaging ability from 6 months to 12 months. And then after 2 years, as long as there's less than 2, they don't impact you at all. If there's more than 2, then they will. But I mean, you're not looking at 5 or 10 points. You're looking at like a 50 to 70 point drop for 1 to 2 late payments, right? It can tank your score. If you have a 750, now you're in the 600s over one little missed payment. So here's a little tip, and I've had a lot of luck doing this, is because like payment history is challenging, because every single month that payment history is going to be re-reported, right? Yeah. So you miss a payment this month, and then next month it comes back up. They're going to report that negative history from last month, right? Even if you get it removed. We just had a client I just saw just today. He said that they had a late payment that was removed and then it came back on. So here's a little bit of help. And this is coming all the way from American Express, which is one of the most prestigious banks in the world, especially with their credit cards. If you write a letter, like an email to the CEO of American Express, and you let them know, identify the date of the late payment. Mm-hmm. And then if you let them know that it was something that was outside of your control, like the hospital situation, you were just at the hospital today, right? And it was outside of your control. You recognize that it was late. There was, a life-changing circumstance that happened, and since it's been brought current and it'll never happen again. They're more than willing to not take the bad PR and then help you out and remove it from your credit profile, mm-hmm. just to keep a good relationship and then look good in the public's eyes. Yeah. So you can leverage. I learned strategies from different banks and vendors, and then I apply them to other banks and lenders because they work, right? So you can start with something like that, and then say they'll forward it to the right department. The right department will remove it from the credit report. But keep all of the emails and the correspondence that you receive from everybody. So for the CEO first, save that, because they're, again, agreeing that they're going to remove it. You want to have proof just in case next month it pops back up. No, I had proof right here. They said that they would remove it. Make sure you give them a good faith statement, and then apply the same logic to other banks. Right. I use, like, Chase has a 5x24 rule, meaning that they'll only, and this is just for personal credit, not business credit, mm-hmm. but they'll only allow 5 new products within a 2-year period. Right. Once you hit product number 6, they're going to cut you off. They're going to decline you. right? So you can apply that same strategy to other banks. Chase are the most strict. So you can assume other banks, they may allow 6, maybe a credit union will allow 7, but usually within 5 accounts, you're going to start to appear over leveraged in the bank's eyes.
Yeah.
So again, when we were talking about removing all of the inquiries, right? If we can get everything that's not attached to a live account off the credit report, and that brings you down to 0 because you haven't applied for any accounts in 2 years, now you got 5 new accounts that you can apply for. And most banks only pull a single credit bureau. So maybe they pull Experian. Well, you got 5 with Experian, but there's also Equifax and TransUnion, right? That's 15 accounts that you can apply for if you know what you're doing and you know the data points, right? Which banks, which bureaus, which banks pull from, right? So it's just applying like the whole credit is a psychology, right? Applying the psychology of credit to your funding process, and you can really maximize what you're eligible for. And like, look, me, I came from Kentucky. Thank God for looking out for my life and having a plan for me. But I'm in Orange County, California. My office oversees the Pacific Coast Ocean, right? I don't deserve to be here, right? But God had a plan that was bigger than mine. And I used the American credit system to be able to put me in this position, right? You know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, my credit score was 450, right? It was terrible. It was smashed. I had medical bills, collections, charge-offs. I did not make good choices, right? But once I started understanding how the credit system worked, and I started learning from people like Lambo that are good in this industry, then I started applying these different things in my life. And then I was able to literally go back and forth between the banks and get access to not 100, but hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And then apply that money into my business, right? Building out CRMs, building out automations with email marketing campaigns, text message marketing campaigns, right? Run ads on social media, Facebook, Instagram, right? And then start to just, again, follow the people in front of me with what they were doing that was working in their life, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something, Tim, and shout out to you for that. I mean, I thank you for dropping that knowledge. When we talk about products and you just talk about, hey, go and get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even if it's $5 or $10 or $20,000 win, sure. Do you think most clients focus on, or have you seen this, where a client will focus on the APR rather than the funding piece? And talk about how if you're able to repay that the APR wouldn't even matter either way if you're paying it right off and everything, man, per month, because there's a misconception when somebody sees the interest rate, they automatically think I'm going into debt because look at this high interest rate. And that may not be the case if you actually have a strategy behind that.
Yeah, there's no successful person in America that doesn't leverage debt. Everybody, from the president all the way down to the CEO of these Fortune 500 companies, everybody leverages debt, and most people write off debt as a tax deduction. So like, an interest rate is going to be most appealing depending on what you're trying to accomplish with it. If you're trying to get access to 0% money for a 12 to 18 month period, then yeah, the 0% is going to play a big factor on whether or not you want to take access to that debt or not. Because again, if you're leveraging it for, more than a month, it's going to impact you, right? Normally with 0%, you pay about 1% of the total amount that was borrowed on a monthly basis until the 12 to 18 month, whenever that introductory period ends. But if you have say you have an opportunity to make some money and you only need to borrow that money for, 25 days or 15 days, right? And it's going to be paid off at the end of every month, right? A good example is there's a new live streaming, and this is going to be the future. There's a new live streaming platform. They do instant auctions. It's called Whatnot, right? You can sell baseball cards on there. I've seen people sell jewelry on there. And what they do is, like for baseball cards, they'll buy a box of cards and then they'll put together an auction, and they'll auction off different teams on a baseball team or a basketball team. And then they'll auction that product off to the audience, right? There's usually, 100 to as many as 2,000 people in a room that'll fight for those spots, and they'll run the bids up because it's a live auction. And then once they sell all of the spots in the auction, they'll open the product and then they'll ship that product, to the corresponding people that had purchased it. But like for that example, a lot of these streamers, they just need money to buy more product, right? So they may have, a 7-day turnaround on how long they need money for. So if you have an opportunity like that to where the more product you get, the more money you can make, and you don't need the money for a long time. The interest rate really doesn't matter. But there's always got to be a plan for what you're trying to accomplish. And then the plan's going to come into play and determine what method's going to work best for you.
I think that's an awesome strategy of exactly having a plan to work for you. Now, do you think that leveraging money is bad, Tim?
Me?
Yes.
Never in the history of the world is leveraging money bad. What's the name of your show?
The Leverage Show.
Bingo. It's beautiful, beautiful. It provides normal people an avenue to be able to be extraordinary, in my opinion.
I think when most people hear money and they hear leverage, they hear capital, they hear debt, right? And I always tell people there's good debt and there's bad debt.
100%.
You know, and you can, in the way how you leverage it allows you to even come out. Talk about a way and everything, man, that when a client comes to you and they're actually or getting capital, or as I said, they're giving debt, right? Because it's literally just capital. How can they leverage that to be able to go on ahead and, you know, allow their business to scale or their life to scale, Tim? And especially give some great examples you've seen, man, in your experience.
Yeah, well, I just use myself for that example. Is I use debt to be able to run ads and promote my business, right? And there's not like just like one simple thing that you can do and it's going to make you super successful, right? For me, for example, you know, I have to post pretty frequently on social media. Lambo, you know, you do the same thing, especially with the podcast and the Leverage Show. But like if you do that and then you have a system in place to where you can acquire new clients or new leads, and then you can invest back into that system, right, through the use of things like paid ads, then it can really provide you with more opportunity than you can get without having that in place, right? And I mean, for me personally, my ads run from anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 a month. Consistently, as much as I can invest is what I can make in a return. But there's things that happen, right? You might get ad fatigue, or you know, the way that ads are going to convert are going to change as well. So like last month, you know, last month to probably 6 months ago, you could run a single ad and you could make, you know, me personally, I can make, you know, a 3 to 4x ROAS, right? Whereas now, you know, again, there's a lot more people that are on social media. The way people buy is different. There's different, you know, psychological patterns to what inspire people to buy and the way that they buy. So like right now with social media, they want to see, you know, anywhere from 5 to 15 different ad creatives that are running together to be able to convert people or give you the highest chance of success when you're, you know, pitching those people whenever you schedule a phone call. So, but honestly, I think like access to money is the key, right? Because you don't have to have money. You don't have to come out of pocket $100,000 to spend $100,000 on advertising, right? If you have access to money, you can leverage that money. You can try new things. And $100,000 is a lot of money, a lot of different ways that you can try different ad creatives, different ad hooks, as well as different strategies to acquire clients. But if you don't have that money and you're having to come out of pocket to test these things, it could be really expensive. And, you know, you might get discouraged after you lose $5,000 or $10,000 and you don't get the results you're looking for. But I'll tell you, my best experience in the world has been investing into people that already have figured out the system. They're using it for themselves, and they're making, the people that I pay for mentorships these days, they're making 7 to 8, sometimes 9 figures, right? Consistently. And those are the people that I pay for information, right? Because I know they've got that portion figured out, right? And that means I don't have to figure it out. I can just follow what they're doing.
I think that's a lot of game you just dropped, because a lot of people don't understand that when you're actually doing that type of leveraging and marketing, systems is, I tell people, systems have receipts of success, right? When you have the right systems, they have receipts of success. Tim, you follow that, and I watched it. This man just told y'all he's spending between $5,000 to $25,000 a month. I almost wanted to. I was hitting the bell when you was on there speaking. I was like, "Oh, you don't even know how fire that is," because I hear so many people say all the time, "Well, Lambo, I'm only going to invest in what I already put in," and I'm like, "No, you have to keep on spending." Money is a flow, right? And most people think Well, once I invest a little, I just want to see how this does. And they back up and they get fearful, they get scared. Every person I have known literally who is successful went all in, went all in. There was no room for margin where they were like, just gonna just see how. No, they just went all in on the table. And I tell people all the time, I know your level of success of where you're gonna go because of your drive or your outlook when it comes to how you actually prepare for that and what you actually are investing into that. If you're only investing 25%, only look back for maybe a minimum 25%.
Exactly.
You're investing 50% return.
Well, what do they say? The root word of the word currency is current. There's little signals and signs, right? And I just literally paid a guy last month. It cost like $15,000 just to be part of his network. I really didn't even need the service that he was offering. I mean, I do, and I'm going to implement to some extent, but that's not why I paid him money. I paid money to be part of his network. And I'll tell you what, I went to an event this weekend and I was already able to get a return on that money by leveraging that network. But that's the way that the world works. You give what you get, and you can't expect in return if you're not willing to put yourself out there, right? The same guy, he says, and this is true for a lot of us entrepreneurs and business owners, is we go all in every month. Yeah. Every single month we go all in. And if you're not getting uncomfortable, then you're not going to grow. Yep.
You can't grow. I always say that you say something so key. I'm so big in mentorships, right? I'm so big in coaching and real coaching and systems that work because it was those mentorships that allowed me to actually get access into places, right? And into rooms and be around stuff. And then people get a chance to get noticed, right? Because now you're right with the right person who can really help you out. I would pay out. People say, man, you got to be stupid, Lambo. You would actually pay to have access. I will pay to have access in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. I literally, this is the truth. This is my mindset, Tim, when it comes like this down to this. You knew this because you do this, and I watched Tim and make sure you guys are tuned because we get ready to drop one of the first questions so you can win some prize money tonight. You literally spend enough, right, between your ads and everything else. They give you back points for just spending. And then you're able to take those points and literally go ahead and travel and do anything you want to do, right? Get free rooms and
hotels. Airplane flights. You get cash access back. Yeah, I haven't paid for a hotel in like 3 years. You don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah, actually, matter of fact, this last year I flew my family out here to Orange County, and I paid for their hotels with points.
And listen, y'all don't listen. Tim be staying in some rooms. Y'all better. I mean, I got to get the mic drop on that one, man. Tim, you be staying in some places in some rooms, and that's just by using the leverage that's already right there. So when I be telling people that, be like, man, you can actually get all of this free access. Free upgrades, free rooms, free this, free that, just because you decided to go ahead and use your credit card rather than your debit card, right? Like people are always saying, man, I want to use my debit card. Let's talk about that. What is the power and the difference of a debit card versus a credit card, Tim?
Oh, man. Well, a debit card for starters, especially if you use it online, then you're opening yourself up for attack. Right, you put that debit card number in online, and there's a breach in that online system, or if there's a breach in your browser or your internet, then you're opening yourself up right there. Whereas if you use a credit card, right, you have 30 days to pay that account, sometimes more, depending on whenever your due date is. But you have the entire month to be able to pay that back. Usually they'll give you until the due date plus 30 days because it hits the next billing cycle. So you have all that time to pay it back before you even have to pay interest. And then you make a return on that product. And depending on what product you get and depending on what you're purchasing, you get additional points, right? For instance, if you use like a Chase Sapphire, they reward you for making travel spend. So you get, I want to say it's 3x points for purchasing hotels or literally anything that has to do with travel, flights. And then, like, if you use American Express, you're incentivized to spend that on ads because you get 3 times rewards for paying for your ads with the Amex Gold. So, like, if you have a good strategy, and I don't even want to get into travel hacking, but like when you start transferring points to different travel partners, you can exponentially get access to products that would normally cost you a lot more money if you were to just spend it in cash. But there's almost nothing, no bad way to capitalize on spending with credit cards versus debit cards, right? Debit cards are super risky. Credit cards are the way to go for real, especially if you're maximizing the rewards that you get back for them.
Shout out to you for that. I mean, I think that people need to kind of hear that because, Tim, I think that there's a big misconception like, well, I'm only going to spend on my debit card because, I don't want to go into debt and I don't want to rack up this money on the credit card. I'm just like, you can take the same money that you're spending on your debit card
and just pay the credit card off.
Pay the credit card.
Exactly. And then you get the free points, right?
What? And I'm sitting there looking at people like, how much do you, and I always tell people, how much are you spending on your debit card? Like, how many times do you pull your debit card out, right? And most people will say, well, man, I pull my debit card out, man, 70% of the time or 80% of the time or 90% of the time. Only use my credit card 10% of the time when I go travel or I go do this. I'm like, you're hustling backwards. You should be literally spending everything you can on the credit card and literally just paying it off with cash,
Mm-hmm.
Then you spend it. I said, that doesn't make any sense, So I don't know, Tim, look, me and you are just a couple of people who did a couple of moves, made a couple of nice figures, man, in life, but we're here to help people, right?
Absolutely.
And so one of the biggest things I want to tell people, man, Tim talked about where he moved from to where he moved to. This is the trivia question. So we about to win cash, man. Right now, man, it's $50 cash prize, man. Getting ready to get it. Dropping this in the chats, right? Y'all make sure y'all drop it in the chats, right?
I know the answer.
I know you know the answer, but I'm gonna give them a chance, y'all. Number one question. Here we go. Tim said he moved from a place to another place. Where did Tim move from? Where did Tim move from, y'all? Where did Tim move from? That's the question. Y'all better be quick in the chat so I can go on ahead, man, and see who's first in here. Where did Tim move from and move to? Boy, look at this. Look at Kid.
Let's go.
Look at Kid Haney. Kid Haney said Kentucky to Orange County. Let's go, Kid. Kid is on the win. Kid, you make sure and everything, man, my brother, you drop that right here, man, in the chats, brother. Your Cash App or your Zelle or whatever, man. Send that right there. Say, hey, Lamb, I got that, man. I got that for real, man. Appreciate you, Kid Haney. Again, for the win, ain't playing. Kentucky to Orange County, man. $50, man. Ken just won. We got more prizes, man, coming up. Y'all stay tuned, man. For real. All right. So Ken drew first, right? And all these amazing other comments. We see y'all in here. We see y'all in the Blue Sky debit card, more accessible to fraud. Yes. Debit card, definitely more access to fraud. Use the system and enjoy life. Yes, Isidro, you're 100% right. Shout out to Issa being in the building, man. I be paying bills with my points just for points. Paying bills with my point cards just for points. Yes, you go, Janaea. Pay your bills, man, with that, man, just for the points, man. Miss Miami, man, definitely showing love, snap and tap, man. Jay Scott sending you a virtual hug. Blue Sky showing love. Bam, that's what I want to hear, man. And I use them on bingo, she says.
Let's go.
I just and everything, man. I love this and stuff like that. So listen, next question. Here we go. Another $50. Tim, give them something on a part of the system that you talked about, literally, that had to been listening, right? Y'all had to been listening. Give them something on part of the system that you just went over, literally, when I went off air the first time. Go ahead. Talk about it.
Okay, what was the name of the method that we use to be able to set up a structure for people's credit profile?
Ken freaking Haney again. Look, Ken. What's going on, Ken? Ken, we can't give it to you twice. We're gonna give it to the next one. Isidro, you get it. Isidro, you get it, man. The rad system, Isidro. We can't have Ken just win it all like this. We got to give it to the next one. We got to be fair out here. But shout out to Isidro.
Let's go, Issa.
Let's go, Issa, baby. You get that, man. Shout out to your band, Pulse Bro 2 band. Hey, y'all coming. Y'all stick around. We coming through, man. Isidro, make sure you go ahead, send your information to that man. James said Tad. And then he came back and said Red. Shout out to you, man. He done said Red. It's coming through. I got y'all, man. We see y'all in the building. Ken fall back. Congratulations and everything, man. Ken for the win. Yeah, he on it, Miss J. He on it. Like Ken is all the way on it, man. Congrats, IC. Love it, man. Let's go. I don't even see Ken's answer. Ken answers showed up on Facebook. Remember, we got many different platforms that are literally, man, on here from Facebook and everything. Is it the internet? Kid knows and everything, man. Y'all better switch the system, man. That works, right? So, listen, that's the second one, man. So, we'll come back and everything, man, and win more prizes in just a little bit. But those two, Ken for the win and Isidro, man, you guys are definitely winning $50 each. Don't worry about it. We're going higher, so sit tight, all right? So I told y'all it's official out here and everything, man. All right. So man, I know they're in the chats, man, going in, man. So listen, let's talk about when we talk about the RAD method, we talk about the removing of accounts, but let's talk about adding, Tim, right? Because I don't think that people were adding or know what to add, right? When you talk about adding the right positive accounts. What accounts have you seen that were positive and have made a big impact minus the negative accounts, right? Or things that might not make another big impact when you're looking at a person score? Because I've seen a person say, man, I got an 800 credit score, Lambo, right? And really the 800 credit score is just a mixture of just a couple different things, maybe an authorized user, maybe one trade line, but the banks are not willing to really give them big money. They're thinking they're going to go get $500,000 or $1 million, and the banks are saying, hey, you're a little bit too thin. What is the right structure that they should have that the banks are literally trying to get more money from each client, Tim?
That's a good question. And I think a lot of people think just because they see an 800 credit score or a 750, like, hey, I'm perfect. I have a great credit score. But at the end of the day, the score is just an indication of what's going on with the credit profile. What the banks want to see is they want to see that you have nice established credit, right? And by that, like I said, the high comparable credit that they look for is they want to see that you have a minimum. And this is just a baseline for getting 0% business credit cards. They want to see that you have a minimum of 3 credit cards with $10,000 limits, right? So at the very least, in order to be eligible for 0%, they want to see comparable credit, right? If you go apply for loans, they want to see that you have comparable credit. So I'll give you 2 examples. Like banks want to see that you are eligible for whatever it is that you're applying for. So if you're trying to apply for a $20,000, $30,000 line of credit or a business credit card, or even just a personal credit card with $20,000 or $30,000 limits, then they're going to want to see that somebody's trusted you with similar to that amount of money in the past. Authorized users are nice because it kind of gets your foot in the door, but it's not a primary account history, right? It's again, you piggybacking off of somebody else's. So it might get your foot in the door, and it might even, if it's with a top tier reputable bank, it might even get you access to 12, 15,000, with a pretty decent bank, but it's not going to get you all the way there. Another example is going to be loans, right? So credit mix, thank you, Issa. Credit mix accounts for 15% of the entire credit score, right? The combination of different accounts that you have on your profile, right? They want to see that you have some credit cards, ideally maybe a car loan or a mortgage, a nice mixture of stuff, right? But most of the time, if you go to the car dealership and you're trying to get financed for a vehicle, the banks are willing to give twice as much as you've previously financed, providing the rest of your credit profile looks good. So the larger amount of the loan that you financed and paid off in the past is going to add to a larger loan that you're eligible for today. The same holds true with credit cards. So the best banks, right, and the best products are going to come from top tier banks like Chase, Bank of America, US Bank, American Express, Wells Fargo, these top tier people. And so like best case scenario, we get banks like that to give us $20,000, $30,000. But the same holds true with loans, right? If we have those top tier banks with loans that have been paid off through those top tier banks, that's going to look the best. But in all reality, it doesn't look awful, even if we get high value products like credit cards or loans from even credit unions, right? The fact that somebody's willing to give me personally a line of credit for $25,000, whether it's a credit union or a top tier bank, is going to go through and it's going to stack my file and it's going to make me look attractive in the banks and the lenders' eyes. So the easiest way you can do this is by combining products with banks that will allow this. I love Chase for this purpose because Chase has what's called shared liability. And what this means is if you're the person that signed up for a product, then you can move that limit for that product wherever you want, whether it's on personal, whether it's on business, whether it's from a Freedom to a Sapphire or a Sapphire to a Freedom. You can move it anywhere you want. So you can go get, say you're just scraping by, the credit system. You haven't got really established yet. Maybe you got a 700 credit score and you only have one credit card. Well, that one credit card, right, even if it's not the best credit card in the world, if you go open an account with Chase, right, and you have a few dollars in it, even if it's $100, now the fact that you got that 700 credit score with a credit card on your profile and an account with Chase, this allows you into Chase's banking system. You now qualify. So if you apply for a product with them and then you double back to like United Airlines or even an Amazon card that's underwritten by Chase or even a Disney card that's underwritten by Chase, whatever they give you the approval. I like the travel card better just because like if you sign up for a travel card, they expect you to spend it traveling. So they normally give you a decent amount of money. But you can take that travel card and you can combine that limit with your initial Chase product, whether it's a Freedom or you can go vice versa. You can move the Chase over to the United. But the really neat thing is because of the shared liability rule that they have is in the future, once you have that structured, personal credit profile, you can, and you apply for, 0% business credit accounts. I would wait until you apply for all of your, your business credit funding sequence. But once you've got them applied for, then you can move that balance from the Chase personal credit card over to the business. And then if that business stuff comes with 0%, now you got an extra $20,000, maybe $30,000 that you weren't using on the personal because it'll bring your score down to use it, that you just switched over to the business. So the biggest part is looking good on paper though. And the best way that I can give you an analogy on how you can best learn how to do that is if you were the bank and you were looking at your credit report, would you fund you? Right?
Boy, somebody need to hear that. That is game right there that Tim dropped a lot on what you need to structure your profile with and why sometimes you may not been getting the approvals that a lot of people, may have in their head. And shout out to Isidro, because Isidro learned a lot from Tim as well.
My guy.
3 cards plus some loans. That is huge in the banking system. The banking system is not predicated on just a score. The banking system, especially FICO, remember, is always consistently changing modules on how you actually lend or why banks are lending. Remember, banks tighten up when the credit crunch hit and then tighten up again right after the credit crunch going into when COVID hit, right? And when COVID hit, it really struck a lot of banks and people and businesses to way that they do business. You remember, Tim, before COVID hit, American Express used to make you pay your bills off in 30 days. That was it. You only had 30 days. And when that 31st day hit, if it had not been, the whole balance had been wiped away, you were already going into collections and they actually took away your borrowing power for you, man.
Yeah, just give you like 30% interest.
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
It's a smart move, I guess,
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, so you want this, and then they're calling you. Hey, is anything wrong with you? Or anything wrong with your business? Or hey, you didn't make it everything the payment and stuff like that. So I think that's huge when people and everything, man, knowing how they structured. Now Chase has a pay over time. I mean, American Express has a pay over time method. It was never that. And they never implemented that unless you had a payment that you were going to be taking care of that balance in 30, 60 days. They didn't have that payment method available. They do now since COVID, since a lot of businesses wind up going under and were wiped away from that. So I do think that's huge. We got a question for you here, Tim. Does this include credit unions? Dana said.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I wanted to actually talk about it a little bit. And this has been my experience with credit unions. Is credit unions are amazing for one of a few reasons. A, they're decentralized, meaning they reinvest their money back into the members of the bank rather than profit sharing. And then B, they have an internal credit score. So whenever you go to a credit union, you apply for an account. What they'll do is they'll pull your credit, usually do a soft check just to see if you're eligible, and then they'll give you a hard check whenever they grant you access to the account. But this will create your initial credit score with that credit union. So say you have a 700. So you have a 700 whenever you open the account. Now what happens is over time, and this is huge, right? Over time with most credit unions, you have an internal credit score that develops as you go through time. As long as you don't, and the score increases as long as you don't have non-sufficient funds, you don't have returned payments. But what this allows, and there's a couple of things here that I wanted to kind of talk about, is what this allows is like 6 months, 12 months. What I've seen is even if you don't have a large history with that credit union, maybe you don't have any products with them, you just have, say you put $100 in the bank, you wait 6, 12 months, and then you come back to them and you apply for a product. Since you have that internal credit score, you haven't had any non-sufficient funds. Now you have more credit with that credit union. And what I've seen is even with $100, providing your credit's not destroyed, right? I've even seen a client that had even a collection on their profile, but they had a credit union established for about 12 months with $100 in the account when it was started. Well, they extended to her a $20,000 credit card, right? Now, a couple things. Say if you go to like Chase or U.S. Bank or Bank of America, any of the big banks, normally you can apply for credit with stated income, right? You tell them how much income you're making, they'll use that number. They won't have to verify documentation. With credit unions, if it's a brand new account, normally whenever you apply for credit, they'll ask you what your income is, and then they'll want to verify either bank statements or taxes. So it can be a little bit more challenging if you're applying for credit through a credit union without a history with that credit union, unless you have financials that can back it. So, but the good thing is if you open, say for instance, this is going to take some time. You don't want to, come pay somebody like me to guide you through the process. Is you can establish a relationship. And here I'll give you a couple of really good ones. BECU, which is Boeing Credit Union, and there's another one which is DCU, like David Charlie Unity .org. But both of these credit unions, they are very generous whenever it comes to established relationships and minimizing risk, right? Meaning as long as you have an account and it's been open for a while, they'll start to send you pre-approval. Sometimes they'll send you pre-approvals without having to verify documentation as far as getting access to approvals through those credit unions. But as long as you have time, right, it helps develop that internal credit score that you have with them. And then they're more willing to give you money just because you have that established history with them, which is half of the risk anyways, whenever you think about it. Most banks you go after, the biggest risk is like, especially if they don't know you, whether or not you're going to pay the money back or not. So if you've been there for a year and you've never had any problems with them, you've never had any non-sufficient funds, right, you've not overdrafted your account, then they're more willing to give you larger value limits.
Great answer, Tim. Shout out to you for that, man. You dropped two huge ones, man. You don't even know the DCU, and they just did the merger with First Tech as well with DCU, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with their financials.
And you know Lambo is DCU.
I know that they'll give you. I know they'll give you 2 products with 1 inquiry. They'll give you both a loan and a credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're huge. They First Tech and DCU did a huge merger together, which for a lot of people don't even know. First Tech and their products that they were actually doing pulled more primarily from Experian, right? And now because of this merger, DCU pulls from Equifax. Yeah. And so the merger now allows people to kind of sit in between. You got a great Equifax or great Experian score, you can kind of know how to play it both. They're still keeping it separate though. So you can still apply for products still separate, and it's even though the merger is happening between First Tech and DCU. Not just that, I give you another good tip, right? With First Tech, they've partnered for those and everything who run at a TransUnion play, because TransUnion been a lot easier to clean with a lot of the hacks out there. They've actually partnered with Splash Financial. Splash Financial is pulling directly on TransUnion only, right? When it pulls TransUnion only, literally you're going to have 3 of the major partners that actually backs them up. First Tech being one of them. I know for a fact Upgrade is another one that is backing them. And then they got like Rocket Loans or something like that backing them as well into that ecosystem of Splash Financial. But once you get into Splash Financial, and if First Tech is the one that is giving you the loan, it's not pulling Experian, it's pulling TransUnion only from Splash Financial, but they also offer you a membership to get into First Tech if you accept that offer, which is true big game for a lot of people out there who really want to run some game with Splash Financial. So think about that for those and everything, man, who getting their TransUnion scores up. I'm going to tell you another hot one, man, that we've been running, Tim, if you can get the TransUnion scores up, has been Booking.com. Booking has been popping them visas out left and right. I'm telling you, your TransUnion score is over 700. I don't care about Equifax or Experian. They've been popping out about between 10 to 15,000 just at a pop with Booking.com.
Nice.
TransUnion only. So, and it's a soft pull too. So you don't get the hard pull until you see the offer and accept the offer from them. Okay, I'm gonna leave that game alone for y'all and everything out here. All right, we ain't trying to do that, right, Tim?
That's right.
Right. So she said, please repeat those names. Then she's talking about those bank names, if you can.
Yeah, for sure. So that's DCU, David, Charlie. I put it in the chat, but I don't think I can without joining YouTube. So DCU and then BECU, which is Boeing something Credit Union. But B is in boy, E is in Edward, C is in Charlie, U is in University. Yeah, I think both of them are .orgs, I believe. Yeah, they're both .org. BECU and DCU.org is the website.
You know, just out of curiosity, what is BECU pulling from, Tim? What's the data points on them?
Let me see. You know, I was just looking for that today. I want to say I think it was Equifax, but I'm not certain. Hold on a second, I'll verify.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure it's Equifax.
Equifax.
Pretty sure, but I can look it up once we get off the call, and then I can comment on this video.
Okay,
if that's a thing, if I can do that.
Yeah. You can comment on the video, and they can get it and stuff like that. That'll be amazing and stuff like that.
For sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, man, for that. All right, so. Let's talk about this. Now, we got the A of adding value. Now, let's get to the D in the RAD system, right? Because I think that that is huge, right? Out of what everything that we're talking about, and we're hearing people and everything saying, yeah, this is a system that we need to use. Let's talk about the D. How do we develop, right? And what do we need to do to develop, right? The right relationships, the right banking relationships and skills, besides just because sometimes and everything, I've had people and everything saying, well, I can just go into this bank blind, apply because I got great credit and have no established relationship, right? And how
Sure,
often have you
sure
seen?
you can,
Yeah, yeah, but
but you get the results of that.
higher limits based off of not developing a relationship between the financial institutions and the banks, too.
Yeah, yeah. So what the banks do is the banks have an underwriting criteria. And then whenever you go and let's just say, for instance, you jump on the internet and you go to chase.com and you apply for a credit card or a business credit card, what's going to happen is they're going to pull key pieces of data off of your credit report as well as the other information they see, whether or not you have a bank account, whether or not you have business credit reports. And then they're going to take those pieces of data and then their algorithm is going to determine what you're eligible for, right? And more times than not, if you don't apply through somebody that's working directly with an underwriter, they end up selling you really, really, really short on what you're eligible for, right? So, and sometimes I even have to convince, a business relationship manager if I have a file, what the comparable limit looks like and what we should be getting based off of just my personal experience, especially if I get a new business relationship manager in a new area. What some of the banks have been giving, excuse me, based off of previous history. Whereas if you apply online, then you're literally the computer is going to determine what you're eligible for, and they're not going to pull any favors, right? They're not going to give you any type of high limit. So you can absolutely go to the bank and you can apply on your own. But normally, what I see is one of two things: either A, just a denial because the file wasn't worked properly, it wasn't developed properly, or B, if you get an approval at something really, really low, like extremely low, like $3,000 as opposed to 40 or 50,000, sometimes 70,000.
Think that is huge because a lot of people are trying to figure out, like, man, how these people getting these big limits like this out here? They're thinking to themselves, like, man, these big limits, like, what's really going on with that? Like, why are they getting these big limits? And I'm telling people, I'm like, yeah, you're satisfied with a $10,000 to $15,000, but if you go through Tim Roberts, who's able to have that banking relationship with a manager, man, he can give you 50, 60s, and 75K approval, right? With those type of limits that you can actually scale your business, or whether it's a startup or existing business, right? But not just that, there's other products and everything that's inside of that. So developing a relationship, trust me, through Tim, especially through working with Tim, and I'm not trying to tell people and everything, hey, man, let's push people through Tim, but you get more bang for your buck going with my guy, Tim Roberts. I would rather pay to have access to have knowing that I can go get 50, 60, and 75K than only getting approved for a $10,000. And I'm sitting there looking at this $10,000 where I tried to do it on my own because, I just thought that I could try to do it. You can do it on your own, but I don't want a 10 or a 20,000. But I know I can go get access to 4 or 5 times more than that by just connecting with you, right? Let's talk about it and everything, man, Tim, because I think this is huge. At one point, the Chase play was running real huge. Everybody was out there on TikTok and social media. Hey, go get your $150,000. And then all of a sudden that stopped. You said something that was so key in what you were talking about in your message, right? Banks now have actually looked at now your financials inside of what the business is actually doing between business transactions outside of just credit score, right? How huge and how detrimental has that played a part in the percentage of people who've come to you to get approvals versus denials?
Well, I don't know. Everybody that we build files for, we try and take that into consideration and then prep the file with that on the back end. So as opposed to just a lot of the big banks will open up and establish a relationship so that way, A, we can apply through relationship managers, and then B, we have better results because we have that extended history. But outside of just doing that, a lot of times we'll prep the file, right? We'll put money in the account, So that way, whenever we pull the trigger, we have better results because not only do we have like good credit that's been developed and we have low utilization, low balances, but we also have a bank account that has money into it.
Yeah.
So like without that, it's higher risk, especially in an already high risk environment. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
economy's been a little bit tight for the last 6 months or so, and it's not hasn't got better just yet. So the banks see that too, and then they play into it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I see. I've noticed that a lot of people that weren't getting the approvals that they really wanted, but that they once had last year. They even had access to last year, where there were a lot of people who were actually getting approvals and not this, that. But you've been posting results after results after results after results of still these big high approvals. I'm like, my gosh, y'all guys got to work with Tim because whatever he has over there in his system is working and it's allowing business owners to really get the capital that they need. I hate to say this, but $5,000 to $10,000 in business capital or equity could run out very fast, right? Of buying products and everything else, man. But if you got $50,000 or $60,000 or 25 or 35,000, it helps out the business owner scale a little bit more better without over leveraging and then looking for more capital in the end. I had one lady who honestly meant well. She went through so many business accounts, right? Business credit products. And then she was just like, well, Lambo, I can't get approved because at one point I had it 800 and now I've been running and maxing out all of my cards because they were giving me low limits and I maxed them all the way out. Now I can't get approvals for some of the big cards on the business side. I mean, have you seen that a lot lately with the way and the structure that businesses have been going? And what's a good way to get around that? And is there any alternative funding outside of that, Tim?
As far as like what people maxing out their credit cards?
People maxing out the credit cards and they're trying to find out another way to get funding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's everything is subjective, right? So to what's going on with their situation and what type of business they have, whether or not the business is bringing in money. But I mean, outside of like having equity or having money, in the bank or having assets or something you can put up as collateral, it can be challenging if you get over leveraged and then you try and go to the banks because I mean that's a sheer sign of risk right there. What's the credit profile look like? So you can leverage your business revenue, right, to some extent, and usually they're a little bit less risky whenever you have revenue coming in, as long as it's above 10,000. Normally they're willing to see like if you have at least a 600, then they're willing to deal with you. But the higher risk you are, the more expensive the money is going to be. So yeah, it can go both ways. Right. Yeah, you still have some opportunity, but it's going to cost you more money if you're in a tight situation. Right.
Okay. And that's what I really wanted to know. Like, hey, when people being out there in tight situations, like there's still an avenue out there for you. Right. Don't think it's the end all if, hey, I'm in a tight jam, I'm in a tight spot. I still get some funding? You can still get some funding out there. But like Tim said, there's other things involved with that.
Yeah, and you just have to be creative. But as long as you don't wait until you're upside down and over leveraged on everything, then there's opportunity. That's what I was trying to, get at the beginning of the call is just by like restructuring your debt. As long as you're below 50% maxed out, then you can restructure your debt. You can borrow money from some accounts to pay other accounts, and just maneuver around the reporting time frame. And that way you'll appear on paper not in debt. Right, which will buy you opportunity to be able to apply for new accounts. But if you wait until like you're all the way maxed out and you're at the end of your rope, it's going to be challenging to go to the banks and get them to give you more money. You're going to be, again, high risk comes with expensive rates. So the more leveraged you are, the more maxed out you are, the more expensive that money is going to be to borrow. Right. Yeah. So before getting into that position, you should really come up with a plan once you start getting into a position where you're getting over leveraged. Right.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, man. Thank you for that, Tim. Shout out to Blue Sky. Blue Sky asks on the personal side and on the business side, considering any bills that have been or could be signed that would affect all financial institutions, what are two things that I should do right now?
Considering any bills that have been or could be signed that would affect, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I follow.
I'm thinking it's the bills she talked about as far as in the House bills, right? Or
Hmm.
anything across. And I get that on a personal or business side. Like, what two things that she probably can structure herself right now, probably to get into position to probably take advantage of maybe credit products on personal or business side.
Um,
Do you see anything down the pike coming where they may be, signing something, Tim, and hey, the banks are gonna go and hit. The banks just did something today. What did the Feds do today? Didn't they cut the interest rates or something like that again today or yesterday? It was.
yeah, I think I don't know. I've been on calls all day. I didn't get to pay attention to the news today.
Yeah. So I think we had a big uprise because I think they did something with the Fed rates again today or something like that, man. So and it spiked in the markets and stuff like that. So I know it was something that happened, man. Um, huge. Or they announced something of a structured plan and stuff like that, of something that was going to be taken care of. So yeah, you guys, well, bills always affect how financial institutions always lend. But I think even with that, Tim, if they're structuring themselves perfectly, I think that they're still able to get access.
Yeah, there's always going to be opportunity. I see like what federal bills that have been passed or they could have been signed. What's the best opportunity? But yeah, the best opportunity isn't waiting for somebody else to sign a bill or putting something into play that can get you in a better position. Because a
Mhm.
lot of the times, like especially with advertising, not everybody's honest, right? A lot of the times people will say stuff that sounds good, so they have a higher chance of going viral or a better potential to get people to sign up with them. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, this bill was just signed and it guarantees $150,000 in funding." And then
Mhm.
whenever you find out who that person is and what products they're advertising, they're just talking about Chase Ink business credit cards,
Yeah.
right? It had nothing to do with the bill to begin with. But I think the best thing anybody can do is like get in front of their financial situation, right? If you're waiting until you need money to borrow it, it's too late, right?
Say that again. I gotta let you say this one more time for the people in the back.
If you're waiting to get access to money until you need it, you're already too late. So what people should absolutely do is take, financial responsibility of your credit and your credit profile and everything that you have going on and position yourself to get access to money before you need it. So that way when you need it, you're not in a bad position.
I got the mic drop after that. I just thought I can take the bell and just throw it after that. I'm being real with you, man. I tell this to people. Why are you waiting? Oh, well, I'm gonna wait to do this and stuff like that. That's not a structure. Like, people don't plan like that. Businesses, successful businesses that I know, and I do business with people all week long, right? They don't plan like that. They go get ready. Like, hey, I don't want to wait for a war to start for me to go have to purchase bullets and guns.
Mm.
You understand? And most people wait till a war to start. Well, yeah, I'm ready to go to war. No, I'm not waiting for a war to start. For me, I'm
Yeah.
already locked and loaded. Let's go.
Bad guys already got the bullets and the
Our
guns.
guys already got the bullets, and anything can happen. You understand? It only
Exactly.
takes one health or one bad thing to be a domino effect. I've watched how a lady in our circle, Tim, literally, she was successful. She literally had 5 thriving businesses, right? 5 thriving businesses. This is true story. She was
Mhm.
making millions of dollars in cash flow, right? Face all over the place. And I'm not lying to you. I watched how literally she caught arsenary, right? To all of those businesses, like no, 2 of those businesses caught arsenary fires to it. They set them on fire
Oh
by
man.
by literally, and those were 2 of the most profitable businesses, right? True story. The other 3 ones that she had, each and every single one of them, man, something tragic happened in each one. Somebody was like shot and killed in one. They had to close the doors
Crazy.
down. This is a true story. The other 2 that was left, she turned around and everything, man, and the husband got sick. She got in a car wreck the very next week. from the husband getting sick, ill. She gets in a car wreck the next week, no cash flow coming in for the next 6-7 months. They went from millions of dollars in their hand. I'm talking about this was in a matter of just months from each other. For millions of dollars in their hand to flat broke, to where they literally had to go ahead and pay back all of this money and literally go move back in with the parents and their kids just because of something tragic that happened. And it happened back to back to back. And we always think, oh, don't worry about it. We got time. We're good. We got this. And when I hear people who say that, I'm like, you don't know exactly what's going to happen next week or what's going to happen next month or what's going to happen 6 months again from down the line. I'd rather you start putting it together now and saying, okay, let's go now. Because, see, we have a plan in our own head that we think, oh, we know our plan, right? And then life or God has another plan to be like, hey, I got another.
Like, I got news for you.
Yeah, news for you. It ain't gonna work out the way you think it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out the way I choose it to work out. But had you actually had that already in place, we already ready to go. You understand? Right. Things are already. Had they had enough put to the side, they were spending out so much cash flow that they said, we never even thought we had money to put to the side for this, or we needed to put money to the side for this. Everything up.
That much cash flow, you know how much access to credit you could build with that?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's a safety cushion right there.
None of it. They had none of it. Literally, within 6 months, they see their whole life change upside down just because of that.
Crazy.
And that's my fear when I hear people talk about, well, man, I'm doing good right now. Get sick. I tell that to anybody. So all you got to do is get sick. Right? Or a bad accident happen. That's all you have to do. Get sick or have a bad accident happen and watch what happens. Your whole life can change the opposite way because the strategy you have is, oh, I still have next week, or I will do that in a couple of months. And I'm just like, that's the most craziest mindset to have when I've seen it not work out. I have business owners right now to this day, Tim. They're beating my phone up. They're beating my email up. They're beating and everything, man, my assistants up to book calls with me because, Lambo, things didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to turn out. It's life. Stuff happens. And at one point, they were very successful, very thriving, making a lot of money. And then, boom, something happened that literally wiped all of that away. And they're on the other side now where they were like, oh, man, we've passed that. We're not doing this. I've been through that where things looked like it was going well and then, boom, it went the opposite way and losing everything. So I know how that feels. And my fear is I don't want other people who are, whether you're a startup or whether you're existing business, to be ever caught in that position, especially when you actually have the ability to do something about it.
Exactly.
Beforehand. All right. So, Tim. All right, listen, y'all. Tim gave a lot of game, y'all, tonight. So I'm gonna make sure that we do this right. You know, shout out to each and every single body. I see y'all in the chats saying thanks, Tim, man. Shout out to y'all, man, for that. Speaking. All right, cool. We're gonna give away, man, some more prizes now, man. This is it, y'all. This is it, man. I see everybody in here. They're getting ready. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Facts. I'm already coming out blazing. I'm not coming out praying. I'm coming out blazing already. I'm coming out firing. You understand? So very true. Thank y'all. Listen, Tim, I want you to go ahead. We got 3 questions, right? We got 3 questions, y'all. 3 questions. These are now the $75 gifts, right? We got 3 $75 gifts that we're giving out, right? Actually, 2 $75 and $100 gift that we're giving out. So we're going to pick 2 questions, Tim. Tim, I'm giving you 3 questions at a time. Make sure your hand is on the buzzer and you are answering first in the chats. Me and Tim will be able to see it, and we're going to make some things happen. But Tim's going to give out 3 questions, 2 $75 one and 1 grand prize of $100 one. All right, Tim?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
What? Okay, this one's going to be easy. Somebody's going to get this. A piece of cake. What were one of the 2 credit unions that we mentioned?
DCU, Dana says. Let's
That
go.
works.
Hey, boy, they on here, man, getting it, man. I see you. Look at this, man. Shout out to you, man. Dana, you got it. DCU is definitely it. $75 coming your way. Make sure y'all are dropping your cash app, your Zelle, or whatever, man, right in here. I see y'all, man. ANG. I don't know what that is, James. I'm trying to figure that one out and stuff like that. What is ANG? I don't remember him dropping an ANG. Did you drop an ANG?
Anything about ANG?
I think Jay must be.
I could have. Who knows?
He must be in there drinking and smoking or something like that. I don't know what he doing tonight, man. He'll both say, man, DCU, yes. DCU, man, Dubs. I don't know what he's talking about. Tammy say BECU. She definitely got that right, man, as well. But shout out to them and everything. James, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, congrats, Dana, man. Everybody, man, y'all congrats, Dana. Dana got that. Miss J said, yeah, all right, congrats, Dana. Let's go. Congrats, Dana. Make sure y'all got that. I was typing fast. I don't even get started. Big congrats. All right, go ahead, Tim. Fire off the next one. You got 175 out the way. We got another 75.
All right, I guess for the next one, let's see here. We'll make this one super, super simple. What does the D stand for in the RAD theory? The RAD method.
Oh, snap. There she goes, man. Miss J got that, man. Let's go, man. You got to develop, man. You get that development going, man. Shout out to you, man. I see y'all in the building, man. Miss J got that other $75. She's like, give me my prize money right now. Yes, Miss J. Thank you. So we got Dana and Miss Janaea, who definitely got the two $75 ones, man. Big shout out to y'all, man, on that. So we got Ken and Isidro for the $50 one. Dana and Janaea for the two $75 ones. Now, let's go on ahead and you penalize us for spelling. I'm not going there with you, Kid Haney. You better stop. I tell, man, look, let's give the people one last grand prize for the $100 win, man, out there. Who literally, I know we out here with Ken, man. Ken, he's a hater, man. But let's give the people, man, something good, man. Something trivial for $100, man. Cash. Make sure you guys get it out here because we cannot wait. Tim, go ahead and take it away, man. Hopefully you'd have thought of a good one, man.
Okay, this is the best that I got for the last one is what makes a credit profile developed?
You tell me what it is, man. We got a good mix. That's one. Blue Sky said. All right. Ken says 3 different card blend. Right? Okay. Issa says combination of what? Cards and loans. And then we got Dana says installment credit cards and banking relationships. Then we got Blue Sky says 15%.
Well, I think where I was headed at with this question is more than just a credit score. So I would say anything that involves that, whether it's 3 different card blends, a combinations of cards and loans, installment and credit cards, banking relationships, 15%. Maybe for the utilization. Those are all good answers, right? Because it's more than just a credit score.
Yeah, it's more than just a credit score. So I mean, who will we give it to then? I mean, are we gonna just do another question then? You tell me who we gonna give it to. Or we gonna give it another question, man? Because they had a little bit of everything out here, man.
Yeah. I don't know. We can always do a fight to the death.
Let's do a fight to the death. Go ahead. Give them and everything, man. Man, you know, the overtime, man. Give them the overtime one.
All right. So that one was a little bit challenging. So let's do. Let me think. This one should be super easy. So whenever you go through and you apply for a 0% business credit card, you might get a low rate if you apply online. So instead of applying online, you should apply with a blank.
This is a good one. This is a good one, Tim. Woo! I got my hand up. Let's go, y'all. Put it in there. Y'all had to be listening for the 0% credit cards. Let's go.
What do we call the person? What do we call the person that we apply to?
Ken, you in there, man? This is $100, y'all. This is $100. Y'all had to been listening to that, man. What do you call that person that is there to go ahead and get this? Here we go. A business manager, consultant person at the bank. What you think?
It's close. It's close.
So do we give it or what? Because we do know. What do we do?
Maybe we give them another minute to keep typing.
We give them another minute to keep typing. It's something that is at the bank, right? And shout out to Hip Hop, say a bank agent. So that's cool. That's cool. Hip Hop said that a bank agent, nope. But we getting there. The connector, Kidding the connector. Where are we at? The underwriter. These answers are amazing, y'all. Keep them coming, man. $100 is on the line. We got Franklin in there. Banker. They said the bank connector. Look at Ken spelling words wrong. The lender. Oh man, here we go. We got a loan officer. Dana says. P-Site said a loan officer too. Errol. Man, this is a good one, y'all.
Congrats, Errol.
This is
funny.
This one right here is the reason why, Tim, and why we were saying this. People are able to access really high limits versus to apply and get really low limits. The application. Oh man, everybody's laughing. This is good, y'all. This is good. I love these answers. These answers are amazing, man, out here. Congrats,
the Fed, though, Isa.
Shout out to you, man. The Fed, man. Come on, man.
The plug and work at the bank.
Hold on. Here we go. The actuary, the plug that work at the bank with the connector with the connection. Lord Jesus, boy, y'all. Listen, we're gonna give it to y'all, right? We're gonna give y'all one word. It ends in a rep. Right? Can we say that?
Maybe the acronym.
We
do the acronym?
We'll do the acronym, right? We'll do the acronym. Man, Hip Hop, you coming, brother. You're almost there, man. Come on, man.
Oh, that's close. That's really close.
I know. Here we go. Right.
It's not a BDM. It's going to be a BR as in Ralph M.
R as in Ralph, baby. You already know. R as in Ralph. BRM. What is that called, y'all, in the banking world? Oh, man. Man, this is a good one. Here we go. Post site said what? What you think, Tim? Bank rep manager?
It's close.
Business resource manager. Tam says, come on now. This is some good answers right here. The banking representative manager. Huh? Here we go. Oh, it's coming. Look, I already see it in there. You see it?
Hey.
You see it? I already see it in here. I already see it. Here we go, Dana. It's called a what, Dana? Business relationship manager. Is that what it's called, Tim?
That's what it's called.
Big shout out to Dana getting that grand prize of that $100, man. Y'all have been on fire, man, tonight. Tim, that was a good one right there, man. The BRM rep, that is the way a bank relationship manager always, man, really allows you to be able to get a hold of access when you have the right ones in place to make sure and everything, man, that you're there to get your funding that you need, man. I'm telling y'all this right now. This was fun. Dana, you won the $100. Dana won the 75 and boy, her and DJ, boy, y'all coming up, boy. So y'all make sure y'all drop y'all Cash Apps, drop y'all Zales, drop all of that good stuff. So Isidro, what did Isidro and King get? The $250 ones, right, Tim?
I believe so, yeah.
And then Janaea and Dana got the $275 ones, right? And then Dana came back and won the $100 one again, man. Dana, you clean it up. That's the way you do this thing, man, for the giveaway, man, that we doing out here, man, with my guy, Tim Roberts, man. Man, shout out to everybody who played. Like, y'all really played some amazing games, man. I really enjoyed this. This really like bless Lambo, man, for everybody. Look, Kim was like the business relationship manager. Yes, it was, man. Brother, you was trying. You was on it and stuff like that. Kim was on the heels. Hey, go ahead, Dana, man. Shout out to y'all, man, for that. Everybody, man, that's playing. Yeah, that's the plug. That's the real plug, man. Good one, Dana, man. Shout out to them, man. That's what this thing is all the way about, man. Doing this thing the right way and learning some stuff. The plight of the BRM, same thing. You see that 6'7". They in here with it and stuff like that, man. I was about to say the dude on the Monopoly card. Blue Sky, man.
The monocle guy.
Yeah, the monocle guy. You already know and everything. Bless us for real, man. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate all of y'all, man, for just hopping on here tonight, man, for real, and just saying this, man, and really going in, man, on this, man. But before and everything, man, we go. Tim, we really want to say a big thank you. Make sure everybody go ahead and send your Zelle, Cash Apps, Venmo to the number on the screen, okay? 612-547-8826. I had an assistant get it out to y'all tonight, between the night and tomorrow. So y'all have it. Y'all good, right? We're going to try to get everything tonight for y'all. 612-547-8826. You're going to text your Venmo, your Zelle, or your Cash App to that number, right? And we're going to go, make sure you put your name next to it so we can go ahead and match up your prize money. There's only 5 winners, and Dana won twice to both of them. She won the $75 and $100 one, so it's really only 4 winners at this point, and Ken and Issa and definitely Miss J, shout out to you for that. So you already know, man, what time it is. Y'all 4 should be texting that number on the screen, 612-547-8826, to get your prize money. Tim, I don't know what more to say, but I know we had an amazing time tonight, man, right here on the Leverage Show. I really, truly thank God for you, man. Let the people know, man, how they can get a hold of Tim and especially work with you in this upcoming year, which Tim has done a lot of money for a lot of people. He works with some of the best, y'all. Lambo can tell y'all, if you really want to know Tim, follow Tim, see his reels, see all of these amazing, cool things, and learn how Tim does things, make sure you guys are getting connected. Let them know how they can connect with you, Tim.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always my favorite place to be. I love the Leverage Show. And yeah, of course, you guys can follow me. I appreciate all of you guys too being here too. That's what makes the show. But you can follow me on any of the social media platforms at timj.roberts. And as always, you can have a free consultation with our team by going to go.businessfundingfirm.com.
You say go.businessfundingfirm.com?
That's the one.
Okay, so go.businessfundingfirm.com. So let me ask you something. I got to say this and everything, man. Thanks for keeping us ahead of the game, Tim and Lambo. We on it till we on it, man. Yes, we are. Thank you, Hip Hop, man. Blue Sky and everything, showing love with the bells. Thank y'all for all the comments, man. Happy holidays, man, for everybody. It's going to be an amazing time. So again, they can follow you on Instagram, right? At where again, Tim?
Tim J. Roberts. So just like it's spelled right here, Tim J. Roberts.
All right, I'm making sure that we put this in the chats for y'all, man. So we can go ahead and get this and stuff like that, man, in here. Tim J. Roberts, right? Did we get that? All right.
That's it.
And if they wanted to DM you or book a call with you, because Tim is the man to book a call with. Trust me, any man that's investing $5,000 to $25,000 a month in ads and building relationships with people. And Tim be traveling, y'all. He be staying in some nice places. There's one of them in California. I always wanted to stay at. I've seen it a minute ago on the show, and I get a chance to get out there to Cali, man, a lot, man. But you stayed at this. It's an exclusive one. It's like off of Laguna Beach, somewhere around there. What's the name of that one? It's like over $1,000 a night or something like that to get out there.
That's literally everyone out there.
Yeah.
You talking about the Ritz though? The Ritz-Carlton?
Not the Ritz-Carlton. We know the Ritz. We got the Ritz on live. It's
the Montage.
The Montage. That's it. The Montage.
That's one of my favorite beaches in Orange County.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's all exclusive and like private, and then they have like a walk that they actually have a park through there on the back end, and then they have a stairwell that goes down like two private beaches, and then it opens up into the next beach on the next hotel stay over. Yeah, it's super dope. It's definitely worth checking out.
Man, y'all make sure you check out the Montage. I seen that a minute ago. It's like an all-white hotel or something like that. It's really beautiful. If you guys have never seen it, and I seen Tim went there. I say, Tim, you going there? I say, you know what? I can expect it. It's Tim Roberts, right? You understand? He go. I say, Tim is literally there. You know, at the place I was saying, man, I got to take my wife out there and stuff and enjoy this, man. But Tim, I am so proud of you, man, and everything you're doing, your community, your help, all the knowledge and wealth of knowledge you brought tonight, and this amazing giveaway tonight, man, that we did. I just truly think was amazing. And it was all spearheaded by you, Tim. We cannot thank God enough for you, Tim Roberts, man, and everything that you're doing. And I just speak nothing but blessings on you in 2026 like never before. I speak, man, like nothing but greatness coming your way, and God like overpowering you with such amazing favor over your life that every time you open one door, another door is open, and another door is open, and another door is open, and you keep allowing other people to walk into their doors and their seasons of their lives that is allowing them to change their life. I pray that your biggest and greatest blessings over your life is done and being fulfilled in this next year in your life that you can't even only imagine, because you remain faithful, you remain hungry, but you remained in everything, man, fully molded in the presence of God from your heart and even your business wise. In the Master's name we pray, amen, amen, and amen, Tim.
Amen. Thank you, Lambo. I appreciate you more than you know.
Brother.
Yeah, I pray the same thing for you on your life as well. I know you're already experiencing it, man, but there's just it's a blessing to be friends with you and even have the opportunity to come on your show and share this moment with you as well as the audience and the people that I've had the pleasure of working with in the audience as well, you know?
Yeah, thank you, Tim. We speaking that on everybody's life, man. I really pray, man, over people's lives, man. The Leverage Show, because, man, we watch, man, this community. We watch, man, the amazing people. We watch, man, so many people connected just to be able to start living. And I pray, man, that literally your life in 2026, you will stand by two things: forgiving and living. Right? That you will have a forgiving heart, man, to people and things and traumas in your life, man, that tried to go on ahead and hinder you down, but also that you will start living like you've never got a chance to live before, because you were connected with the right people and you got in the right wavelength with God. That's all my whole entire prayer for people in 2026 going. and that you will like experience some of the greatest years of your life you've ever seen. So that's my prayer for the Leverage Show family here, and it's special tonight sharing it with you, Tim, because I know you're a man of faith, a man of prayer as well, and a man of just belief. And we truly thank God for you, Tim. Especially, man, you're going to help bring many more other people into places that they never knew that they could be brought into, man, because of what you have available inside of you. And that's the calling and the gift on your life, Tim. So thank you, Tim, for being an amazing friend, but being a leader and a general out here to help so many people, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you, Lambo.
Brother, you're welcome, man. Listen, make sure y'all are following Tim J. Roberts, Tim J. Roberts, right? Go online at Tim J. Roberts. You follow him on Instagram, man. He's always doing some amazing reels. Even on Facebook, he's the same way on Facebook. He's always posting some great things on Facebook. I don't know if he's on TikTok like that, Tim.
I'll be on TikTok too, yeah.
You be on TikTok, Tim?
Yeah, gotta be. Got all the platforms.
So TikTok too, because I know I'll be seeing this stuff everywhere. Tim J. Roberts. Is it Tim J. Roberts on TikTok too, right?
Tim J. Roberts on everything.
Tim J. Roberts, man, on everything, y'all. Even if y'all want to book a call, man, they can book a call through what? Your website or anything, Tim?
Yep. Go to the website, or you'll click on the link in the bio on any of the social media platforms. Yeah. Just follow me and comment on all this stuff. Even if you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. You know?
Hey, tell me you need to tighten it up and stuff like that just a little bit.
Tell me it's terrible. Yeah.
Let you go back at it. Let's say, hey, Tim, you need to go back to the drawing board on this one. Man, look, I can tell you, man, from personal experience, man, from everybody I have ever sent to Tim and we've ever done business with, he's always treated them right, fair, kind, and he's got a lot of people a lot of money. So I am so happy for you, Tim, man. As you already know, man, I'm thankful. Again, me and Tim have been the busiest we've been, especially Lambo just coming back and everything, man, from off of vacation. And now we got one more Leverage Show left, and that's like the last Leverage Show of the day, of the year, and that's next Tuesday night, which is going to be doing more giveaways, man, right here on the Leverage Show. So you guys do not want to miss that, man. Tim J. Roberts, thank you so much, man, for coming here, blessing us, Leverage Show family. Thank you guys for all being here, participating in here, especially in the wonderful giveaways. Make sure you guys are sending your Cash Apps, Zelles, Venmos right there to that number on the bottom of the screen, 612-547-8826, because we cannot wait to go ahead and give you your blessing. Even if you don't need it, bless it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else. I always say sow to stay in the flow and sow where you want to go. That's what changed my life. Sowing to stay in the flow and sowing where I want to go allowed to change my life. And maybe you want to give it to somebody else or pay your own bills or buy presents for yourself. Whatever it is, go do it, because that's what this entire Leverage Show is about. And that's what type of heart me and Tim have. And Tim and everything being an awesome giver, we're here to make sure you guys receive these blessings. So thank you guys. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, Lambo Drew Chicken Tea. Hit that notification bell. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, we are here, right here on the Leverage Show, to make sure that we're empowering you to be the best version of you could possibly be, to have the best reach that God has called you to reach for so many people out here for your calling and your purpose. We love you guys, man. Happy holidays, man, for everybody and everything, man. For this is being the last one. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you guys next Tuesday night. I know Tim is going to be right there, so in the comments, so make sure you guys let him know what's good to go. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Me and Tim Roberts, we're out of here till next time, man. We love you guys. Take care. God bless.
Peace, love, and blessings. God bless.